If you're very good, you may just become the finest player of your generation. A Joe Davis, a Ray Reardon, even a Steve Davis. But in my opinion, there is one player who is out there on his own, and he is Stephen Hendry.
I think I'll win it in the next 5 years.
It took 4 years for Hendry to fulfil his prediction. He came to the Crucible in the spring of 1990, having already won 3 ranking events that season, and he beat Jimmy White 18-12 to become the youngest ever world champion, thus robbing Alex Higgins of that distinction.
'68.
Tried to develop the red from the side cushion.
69.
But the other one went anyway.
'71.
And with that break of 71, Stephen Hendry brings a great championship to an end. He has beaten Jimmy White by 18 frames to 12 to become the youngest ever champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, a tremendous round of your appreciation, please, for both players, Jimmy White and Stephen Hendry.
Hendry dominated the 90s, but for the occasional blip, like his defeat by Steve James in the 1991 quarter-finals at the Crucible. This seemed to clear the way for White to win the title at last, but he was blitzed 7-0 by John Parrott in the opening session of the final, and in fact lost by 7 frames, 18-11.
And that is the shot that's going to finish this championship.
And John Parrott's waited a long time for this. He's suffered some defeats and disappointments on the way, but finally the world with Jimmy White concedes to John Parrott, and a very deserving champion. John Parrott wins the Embassy World Championship 18 frames to 11.
1.
Hendry regained the title through a stunning recovery against White in the 1992 final. White was leading 14-9 with just 1 frame of the penultimate session left. In this, White took a 52-point lead. It looked as if he was going to be 6 frames in front, with only the 11-frame concluding session to come.
9.
Well, Stephen leaving himself a red to the right middle.
16.
Well, these next 2 reds and colours shouldn't prove a problem.
24.
The one near the baulk line might.
25. 32. 33.
Hendry tried to develop the pink with his previous shot. Found himself still with a shot at it.
39.
It being one of the difficult balls that he needed for a clearance. This is the other.
And that's hard luck. Cue ball comes another couple of inches. He just dropped the blue into the middle and nicely on the yellow, as it is. Well, this really is a terrific gamble. And that's why he's the #1 in the world. Wonderful shot.
44.
As he was playing the brown, Hendry knew that if he missed it, he was almost certainly going to be 6 frames behind at the interval. But he potted it, left himself plumb on the yellow, and is now in a position to polish off the frame.
53.
Twice white has been 6 frames in front.
$58.
That resolute 64 clearance, Stephen Hendry wins the last frame of the afternoon. Jimmy White, though, leads by 14 frames to 10 going into the final session. That clearance shook White to the core. He didn't win another frame. Hendry prevailed 18-14 and also won their 1993 final very easily, 18-5. But in 1994, White came as close as he'll probably ever get to achieving his life's ambition. Hendry was in pain. He chipped a bone in his left elbow in a fall in his hotel bathroom. That arm was in a sling when he wasn't actually playing, but White couldn't nail him. The match ran the full 35 frames, and White was to have a great chance to claim the decider and his longed-for world title.
But he's got to the final taking these difficult reds, and he's in the last frame of the final, so who's to say he's not right?
What a shot he's taking on.
Well, the crowd knew this one was in before we did, Dennis. What a wonderful shot.
With the pace he played it at.
$23. $28. $29. white,
Well,
29.
did he see the title there, Dennis?
Dear me, that was just a little bit of tension. But everybody's tense. Well, he'd miss one of those in 30.
One. Eight. Nine.
Well, he keeps leaving himself the reds into the middle pocket.
16.
As much a test of nerve now as skill.
And before he played that shot, I was going to say he's missed quite a number of shots with the rest. He doesn't usually. That one only just wriggled in and forced a smile
23.
from Stephen Hendry.
Well, you saw Jim's face then. No explanation needed.
Yes, Red, would be a terrible shame for Jimmy White if he was to lose this frame, having missed a black
30.
that he would never miss in 100 years. You can't take it away from
31.
this gentleman at the table. Nerves of steel. What's going to happen?
Well, he's proved that he's got it when it was needed. He's proved it in the past. And once again, this evening.
Well, Ray, I'm delighted for Stephen Hendry, but I could cry for this gentleman sitting in the chair there.
Yes, he carries the weight of so many people's hopes. And I'm sure many, as I did, thought that this year was going to be his. But not to take anything away from Jimmy's opponent, Stephen Hendry has proved once again that he's the best player in the world. He's Embassy World Championship. He's won by 18 frames to 17 in one of the best finals you're ever likely to see.
Well, it's quite strange, you know. Just hundreds of people I meet, they say, "How do you miss that effing black?" and things like that. But, you know, it's just part of it. It's just like Willie missed an easy blue once. It cost him a tournament in Preston. It's just one of those things. I think I just rushed it.
There was a rocket in my chair, the speed that I got from the chair. As soon as the black, I seen it wobbling in the jaws of the pocket, I was there. I was at the table. You know, that was, you know, it's a World Championship final. Although I was half resigning myself to the fact that he was clearing up to win the title, still there was that hope that if he missed, you know, I was ready. And you know, I really did get off. I couldn't get on my chair quick enough, and I was at the table probably before Jimmy sat down.
I don't know, I seem to be getting bashed up after every World Championship final. Like the summer, I'm sort of bashed through, you know, through losing, but I take it all in my stride, you know, and there's a lot worse things happening out there.
My job as a sportsman is to punish the mistakes my opponent makes, and Jimmy made the mistake, and I went to the table and I punished him for it. There's no room for feeling sorry from, you know, then. The next day when you read all the papers and you know, Jimmy's missed out again and that, then you start to think, well, it is, you know, it was hard on him, but certainly not. I don't feel sorry to the extent that, you know, I wish he'd won. You know, that's you know, that's my job. I'm a winner.
The 1990s was not simply a story of two players, Hendry and White, even if they did meet in 4 world finals. The money to be won on the circuit was constantly driving up the general standard, and as always, the cream rose to the top.
Well, the chances there for Ken Doherty.
Ken Doherty made 1997 a great year for the Irish at the Crucible, when Hendry awaited him in the final. Hendry made 5 centuries, but Doherty was much the more consistent and won 1812, Hendry's first defeat in a Crucible final.
1.
Well, Ken knocked out Steve Davis, 6 times world champion, earlier.
6.
Well, green, brown and blue. And the pubs around Dublin, the homes around Ireland. The atmosphere at this moment
9.
must be incredible.
The crowd know that was the vital one. And Ken knows it is. Lovely smile.
There's no better feeling in the world.
So Ken Doherty thoroughly deserves this Embassy World Championship title. He's a great friend of Stephen Hendry, and Stephen Hendry will be back, I'm sure, to claim his 7th. But at the moment...
Doherty was back in the final the following year, not against Hendry this time, but another Scot, John Higgins, who'd been in such form throughout the season that victory would not only give him the title, but the #1 ranking Hendry had held for 8 years. This was a championship in which Higgins made a record 14 centuries, including the break of 118 with which he clinched the title.
The supporters have been fantastic. A lot of Scottish fans, a lot of Irish fans. I'm sure they'll all celebrate together because this is a remarkable achievement, but Ken Doherty has put up a remarkable defence. 2 of the nicest players you could wish to meet. Just look at his face. There's nothing like this feeling.
75.
Sustained excellence. And now the possibility that John Higgins had clinched the title with yet another century. He's already set a new record of 13 for the championship, superseding Stephen Hendry's 12.
Take the black, John. He doesn't need it. What a performance.
John Higgins clears with a break of 118. He beats the defending champion Ken Doherty by 18 frames to 12 to win the Embassy World Championship. His father embraces him, his mother has already embraced him. John Higgins, champion of the world and world number one. Ken Doherty, a worthy and sporting runner-up. John Higgins. The sporting public were now asking themselves if the age of Hendry was over. Did he still have the necessary desire, ambition, concentration and technique for the job? From the dreadful low point of a 9-0 early round defeat in the UK Championship, he was back at the Crucible 6 months later with his technique rebuilt and his attitude refocused. That's the great 72-year-old trophy that Stephen Hendry hopes to hold aloft in triumph in a few minutes. After beating Ronnie O'Sullivan 17-13 in a classic semi-final, Hendry pulled steadily away to beat another fast-rising star from the next generation, Mark Williams, 18-11 in the final.
Mind, we thought he was going to hold it off in the previous frame before the mid-session interval, but Mark Williams pulled that one out of the fire. Is he going to get another chance though?
Here's the man who beat the defending champion John Higgins when Higgins had looked unbeatable in the previous rounds.
32.
I can't play for the black this time, and he may have to nudge the pink on for the right centre, so he's got to get this one right. Well, in fact, he had enough angle to screw back for that blue. Just not sure about the two reds is to the right of the pink. If the one at the back of those two is available to the left corner, he's okay. He's still got the loose one to play for though.
Has decided that he can't quite reach the potting angle on the back red, but was always going to have this one in reserve.
Well, he's almost straight on the black. So needs a lot of cue power here. Back off the cushion. Now this may be a better angle to get to that red.
58.
He's overdone it slightly. Still a bit to do. The cannon onto the pink. And it could be all over.
He's not going to miss from here. Just red and colour needed.
Well, Clive, we've had a marvellous Embassy World Championship here. We've had everything in this, and here we're finishing up with a great record.
We have indeed.
74.
We've seen marvellous play from John Higgins, Ronnie O'Sullivan and Mark Williams. But Stephen Hendry has come through. In the whole decade, he's only lost 3 times at the Crucible.
79.
Yes, a lot of people wrote this man off. He's a great ambassador for our game. And he's going to be a great world champion again.
Pink and black to finish with a century. Not too bothered about... Hendry's 7th world title was a record for the modern era, surpassing Ray Reardon's 6 in the 70s and Steve Davis's half-dozen in the 80s. It was no longer a matter of opinion, but of statistical record, who was the greatest of them all. For Stephen Hendry in the 90s. Stephen Hendry beats Mark Williams by 18 frames to 11 to win the Embassy World Championship. Mark Williams was the first world champion of the 21st century. He was down 15-11 to John Higgins in the semi-finals and beat him 17-15. In the final, his fellow Welshman Matthew Stevens led him 13-7. But we pick it up with Williams leading 17-16 and within 1 frame of the title.
Twenty-six. 27.
Mark Williams had one hand on the trophy there. If that yellow had dropped, it was a great chance.
One. Seven. 14. Matthew Stevens, 14.
And there's another one of those forcing shots. That's the type of shot that they've been missing in the last two frames. And when you're under extreme pressure, it's the type of shot that you just put a little quick one in.
Stevens wondering if he's going to get another chance this year.
9. $16.
The red that's
17.
towards the right cushion, not the right side of the table for Mark, being a left-hander. But he's got close enough to it, and this is looking ominous.
23.
He needs the black. He needs another red. Doesn't have to worry about position. It's one of those little tricky ones along the cushion.
But that was effectively for the championship. 50 in front, 43 on.
Mark Williams, 32.
Not quite over the line, but just about as certain as you can get. Williams showed amazing resilience to recover, to win by 18 frames to 16. Mark Williams wins a wonderful Embassy World Championship in a wonderful final.
I was in a Chinese restaurant having a meal. A man came up to me, said he was a big snooker fan, and his son, a 10-year-old, was keen on the game. Could he come in, have a photograph and an autograph? I said, OK. Boy walked in, cue case bigger than him, eyes wide open. I signed the autograph, we had a photo. I asked him, did he like snooker? He said, yes. I said, you keep on playing, one day you may be as good as me. He walked out, happy as anything. I thought to myself, there's another fan, never see him again. That boy was Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Snooker, it seems, needs a wayward genius somewhere in its ranks, whether it's Alex Higgins, Jimmy White or Ronnie O'Sullivan.
That's good.
There are similarities which bind these players together. They must play quickly, they must play with flair, they must have a turbulent life off the table. The crowd must love them, they must never consistently fulfil their prodigious talent. In 2001, Ronnie O'Sullivan at last claimed the title which his authentic genius had long suggested would one day be his. He'd made his first century when he was 10, his first maximum in competition when he was 15, but was forced to try to cope with some extraordinary problems, principally that his father was serving a life sentence for murder. He himself was treated at the Priory Clinic for depression. Without such problems, it might not have taken him until he was 26 to become world champion, and he finally did so by beating John Higgins 18-14 in the 2001 final. to secure a first prize of £250,000.
It's the red that's next to the black.
40.
Ronnie has to get on it. If he can get the white somewhere over near that white. It wasn't available to the other corner.
46. 47.
It's looking good, but don't hold your breath. Anything can happen.
$54. 55.
So just the yellow, the green and the brown. Ronnie had a quick glance at the scoreboard.
60. 62. 65.
No mistake on what was effectively match ball that time. John Higgins was in first in this fray with 45, but Ronnie O'Sullivan clears up with 80. Ronnie O'Sullivan wins the Embassy World Championship. He beats John Higgins by 18 frames to 14 after a fabulous final to win the £250,000 first prize. Among the obvious threats to O'Sullivan's title defence in 2002, Stephen Hendry wasn't much mentioned.
Never misses a chance to win frame at one visit, and this is a chance.
8.
But when O'Sullivan provoked him in an ill-judged press conference before their semi-final, it hardened Hendry's resolve.
Nine.
What happened in the 2002 World Championship with Ronnie O'Sullivan and Stephen Hendry was Ronnie shouted his mouth off, Stephen kept quiet and got all the respect for it. And I think it was a very sensible move to do. He just let his cue do the talking and really left, in a way, Ronnie with egg on his face. Put pressure on Ronnie by saying the words. Ronnie should, really probably would realise next time round that he didn't do himself any favours. But I thought Stephen Hendry played marvellously throughout the game. And he's still in there fighting after 10 years dominating the game.
There's a hush come over the Crucible Theatre. There's so much pressure on this possible clearance, but the chance
15.
is there.
Well, if this was the first frame, you would think it'd be a certainty.
16.
But this is the frame to get into his 9th World Championship final.
He's already won a record 7. The one he lost was to his good
22.
friend Ken Doherty. Ronnie can't do anything about this. He's got to just hope that Stephen makes a mistake.
He played that last shot with the rest to the inch. Ronnie now knows that
29.
only a little twitch from Stephen Hendry, a pressure shot that he could snatch at. That's the only thing that can stop Hendry clearing
30.
up from here.
Played to perfection.
36.
We've had everything in this match.
38.
Two of the greatest players in the game going head to head with quite a bit of needle. Stephen Hendry was a man
41.
on a mission.
$45.
He's going to
50.
need the black as well. This would put him 7 in front. This has been, in my opinion, one of his greatest performances. An absolutely unbelievable match. A fantastic clearance. Stephen Hendry's in his 9th World Championship final, and the way he played here, who says he won't win it?
Hendry's victory pitted him against a surprise finalist, Peter Ebdon, for the title. Ebdon led 11-6, but it was 12-all going into the final session, with the momentum apparently with Hendry.
And one of them, I think, is on to the middle.
In fact, the match ran the full distance of 35 frames, into a finish so tense, so dramatic, that it could be compared only with Taylor v Davis in 1985 and Hendry v White in 1994.
It's well wide. It's well wide. Stephen Hendry gets a chance. Lots of pressure, and we were talking about it all the way through, and that's the only reason or excuse I can give for Peter missing that.
Many times under pressure, this young man has cleared to win, but he's never been under this much pressure for quite some time. There's the first one.
1.
Well, if he clears here, John, I just don't know whether I can stand the last frame. Peter Ebdon could have just rolled this red in, but you could see straight the way he'd missed it, and you could see almost the confidence drain out of him on that one shot.
$8.
He's missed it. That could be the end. That could be the end of this match.
Thank you.
Referee trying to call for order. This was Stephen's last chance, and he just jawed it. And I think that head down, he realised that that's the end of the match. Peter Ebdon, 24 ahead, 51 remaining. 2 reds, 2 colours would be enough. When he missed that red in the middle, he probably thought, well, have I made the mistake that's going to take it into a deciding frame? And Stephen hangs his head. Oh, dear, dear, dear. How's he missed that? Straight black for the championship. Can you believe the tension? Well, if Stephen Hendry now was to somehow win this frame, how would Peter Ebdon react after missing that golden opportunity? Will he ever get a better chance than that?
8. Well, He's played a great shot here, Stephen Hendry. He'll probably try and screw this in for pink or blue. He doesn't want to be playing from black to yellow.
9.
He's betwixt and between. He's not perfect on either. Screw with side, just missed the in off. That's perfect. There's the side. That's perfect.
15.
Up to and including the pink required to take
17.
it to a deciding frame. A few moments ago,
20.
Stephen Hendry was sat in his chair, head bowed. He thought he'd lost the Embassy World title.
$24.
He's perfect on the blue. He needs the blue and pink. And he's still in there with a chance.
$29. 30.
Hendry's made many century breaks to win frames. That 29 break will give him more pleasure than any other break he's ever made. But Peter Ebdon, he had a straight black, he needed the red. After the black, look at this black he missed. A chance to win the championship with black, red, black. There you can see the reaction. He knew that Hendry could clear. He did clear. It's now 17 all and we're in for a decider.
Didn't even get on your jaws.
Stephen Hendry won.
This is the survival of the fittest here.
Gentlemen, please. They're trying to finish a sporting contest. Don't yell out at them. You'll ruin the game. Thank you.
John Williams is trying to get the crowd. I mean, you can't blame the crowd, in fairness. This has got exactly the same as the 85 championship. All of a sudden, there was chances from both players. The tension, it was a really long frame, that 85 final frame. I think this is going to be a long frame now because blue, pink and black are out of commission.
One.
Is he on the pink? He is. What a great shot. The pink's in commission now.
The advantage for Peter Ebdon here is that the pink spot is not available, so the highest available is the
7.
black, and it looks as though it would go in the left corner pocket.
Very rarely do you get 2 bites at the cherry against Stephen Hendry. Ebdon had a chance off the black he missed in the previous frame to win frame and match. This is another chance. Can he take this one?
Eight.
Nice clean pot.
14.
Don't know whether he'll want to risk the blue along the cushion or try to play for the pink in the same pocket as this red. The easiest positional shot is the blue along the cushion. And that's what he's played
50.
for. There's nothing easy now. As we all know, we've seen the misses. Stephen Hendry, well, he's had 2 good chances in this frame. I'm not going on about frame winning chances, I'm going to maybe build up a lead of 40 or 50 points. He's now got to sit there and wonder how many he's going to be behind when he gets back to the table. If he gets back to the table.
20. $21.
He must think it's the end, but anything can happen. Ebden purposely leaving that red on the pink spot just to make it a little bit easier with break building purposes.
27.
You can't blame him for having the cue ball clean. He doesn't want to kick at this stage.
$28.
I've seen Stephen like that before in the last frame when he thought it was over.
35.
It certainly looks as though the memory of that missed straight black that Peter Ebden missed to win frame and match, he's put it out of his mind. And every credit for doing that. A mistake like
41.
that would have really affected him, and maybe did do early in the early part of this frame. But he got a second chance, and he's making the most
42.
of it. Every credit.
Family day at watch. Denise is staying there till the very end. How close could that end be?
47.
44 ahead, 75 remaining. So still quite a bit of work to do. And the reds, well, this one obviously is easy, so there's not going to be any easy red after this. Maybe the one to the right of the black he could play to get on after this red and the pink. But he'll need more than that.
Well,
let us do our arithmetic. 45 points in front. The pink, 51. There's still a possible 67 left at the moment. He's played a good positional shot there. When he pots this red, there'll only be 59 remaining. So he's going to need red colour and one more red.
Just wonder whether one of the reds in baulk will go, because he can get onto the blue if he off this red and then just stun down and leave the white tight on that baulk cushion.
The blue would be easy. I don't know whether he'd dare go up the table for the brown and just to make sure he's got a chance of getting on those two reds. You can cut this atmosphere with a knife. I think he's played for the brown, but is it too hard? Now, will that stop him getting on a red in baulk? I think it will. Another glance at the scoreboard.
Well, I think Stephen's faring the worst here. And the main reason is he's 52 points behind. There's a possible 59 left on the table, but where these reds are situated, the man in front is a very strong favourite. And now that brown's gone in, Peter Ebdon pots this red.
59.
And he's won the Embassy Championship of the World. He'll go 57 points ahead with only 51 remaining if he can pot this red.
Peter Ebdon, 59.
We could see before he could that wasn't in. Just caught the near jaw first.
But unlike the last frame, Willie, when he missed that straight black, there was a chance for a counter-attack from Stephen Hendry. But look at the situation of these reds. 56 points behind, 59 remaining. Well, that's a nice kiss, but it's impossible for him to clear the table at this visit. And I would suggest that he'd probably play the snooker here. You couldn't clear these in one visit.
7.
It was impossible, even for him.
Stephen Hendry, 7.
But a very good snooker. And if Peter Ebdon doesn't hit the red, then it gives Stephen a little bit more leeway. Peter looks at the scoreboard. He's 49 points in front, possible 51 left on the table. If he didn't hit the red, well, he'd only be 45 ahead with 51 left, so it gives Stephen a bit more of a chance. When he pots the red, he doesn't have to go for blacks. So he needs to hit this. And of course, remember, if he doesn't, miss would be called. Looks like a good hit to me. Great shot. And you didn't see it because Peter Ebdon was walking back. Stephen Hendry tapped the table to say well played. In these circumstances, I don't think you need to say any more about the sportsmanship of Stephen Hendry. Where's this white going? It's gone in.
Well, that's unbelievable. He was trying to bring the black into play. He was trying to just clip off this red, bring the black into play. He's now gone 53 points behind with 51 remaining. Ebdon's one pot away from victory.
Well, that's incredible. I think he was trying, as you say, bring the black into play. And I think if Peter Ebdon pots this red, Stephen Hendry would concede. It's in. Well, Stephen hasn't come to the table. He'll give Peter his moment of glory, and that's what it is now. He's 54 points in front. There's only 43 left. The brown's in. When he misses, he'll be congratulated as the Embassy Champion of the world. What a moment in the life of Peter Ebdon. Everything he's worked for, dreamt of, will become a reality. Pot this or not. It's over! 7 times world champion Stephen Hendry claps his hand and says, well done, Peter Ebdon.
The 2003 championship was perhaps the most remarkable of the 26 so far staged at the Crucible.
Perfect. 134.
It produced a 147 break from Ronnie O'Sullivan, his second maximum there.
Keep coming. It's going to be a tricky black. Oh, it's going to be tricky.
£169,000 on this pot.
Wonderful, wonderful that display by Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's looked how the sun...
But as they say in the trade, a 147 wins you only one frame, and O'Sullivan ended up a 10-6 first-round loser to Marco Fu.
Incredible once again.
It was a championship memorable for the series of tight finishes which carried Ken Doherty to the final. In the semi-finals, Paul Hunter led Doherty 15-9 after 3 of their 4 sessions. This left him needing to win only 2 frames out of 9 in the last session, and even when Doherty won the first 2, there didn't seem to be any
24.
danger.
So he's going to need the yellow. He's got the perfect angle on the black just to slide the white past pink and blue and leave a pretty straightforward yellow.
The next frame, though, was to activate the first seeds of doubt.
31.
Well, that's the first sign of weakness from Paul Hunter. He put a quick one in there. He's such a smooth cueist, but he wasn't smooth on that one. He really did just give a little bit of it. Just watch the cue, you could see that there.
And that was for 5 up with 6 to play.
And just have a look at this shot that Ken has played. What a difference
5.
that missed yellow could make. That certainly, we've talked about Paul's temperament. He's
No.
still got a bit to do, and he's left that a little bit short. He's going to have to come off the top cushion. How's the pace on the white? It's pretty good.
Pink and black still needed.
$20.
It looked certain that Paul Hunter would go 5 up with 6 to play, but Ken Doherty reduces the gap to 3 frames. Which is the Incredibly, Doherty went on to win 8 frames out of 9 in that final session to go through 17-16. While all the drama was happening in Doherty's half, Mark Williams was winning by wide margins. He also led Doherty 11-5 after 2 sessions of the final. But on the second day came a magnificent revival from Doherty and hours of anxiety for Williams. Doherty levelled at 12 all, and it was still level at 16 all with 3 to play.
Well, the highest available spot is the green.
8. Nine.
So not straightforward with the black being up in the green spot and the pink tied up. So got quite a bit of work to do here. He deserves a good result from that attacking shot.
14.
Oh, that's a nice nudge on the
15.
blue. Now, where is Joe at the moment? That's the referee's office. She's been all over the Crucible. There's no hiding place, Joe. And that John Carroll next to her. John Carroll, who looks after Stephen Hendry and a lot of the Cube Masters players.
21.
Yes, road manager for 110 Sport, to whom both Williams and Doherty are contracted.
There's the white. Ooh. He's got the black back on its spot, and that's 28. Where he wanted it. He's worked
29.
very hard for these, but now it's a good chance.
$36. 37.
Oh, he's missed the cannon on the red. He wanted just to nudge the red.
44.
It's a more difficult one with the rest now, but this was the pot that got him in. Perfect cueing.
$45.
It was a tough black.
Mark Williams, 45.
In potting the previous red, Williams had to cannon another ball, and that black, difficult at the best of times, and more difficult, of course, in a situation like this, found the side jaw.
Mark knows if this red goes in the middle pocket, Ken can get back into this frame. It's not easy, but it's there.
One.
Didn't want the cannon. He was trying to swing the white
6.
around for the two reds that are near the pink spot. It's another tricky one to the middle. A
7.
kick, but it didn't affect the shot. He's on the black and he doesn't need the rest. But a real heavy contact. Just watch this. You get an awful lot of bad kicks, Clive, but I think you could call that one maybe a good kick.
Well, the angle that it's left is a friendly one. Straighter, not so good. From this, it's easy to get the cue ball to the side cushion and off for his next red.
Well, they're saying prayers, they're everything's going on in the Crucible Theatre this evening. This is another tricky little pot. Not this time.
Ken Doherty, 14.
Doherty missed it on the thick side, and even then he was below the black.
1.
It looks as if he's going to have to come back one more time.
9.
Doherty has never been in front in this match.
Another black off the spot, missed.
Mark Williams, 9.
He did hit it rather hard. He needed to get up for the red, but didn't seem to be any kick that time. Just a poor shot, but we can forgive a player at this stage for that.
I'm pretty sure that Doherty was resigned to losing this frame, and Williams stood over that routine black. So, are we going to see an enactment of the reprieve man syndrome?
6. Seven. Yep.
Well, two difficult reds. If he's got an angle on the black, he could run through off the cushion and possibly leave that red along the cushion, but he doesn't want to be straight. All depends on the angle. He's okay. It's not straight.
14.
There you see the angle, as long as he didn't leave it straight. You know, I'm wondering if Ken just lost a bit of concentration. He's seen a little bit of fluff or something on the table and took it away, and then he got down and missed this easy pot. Did that disturb his concentration? Here we go, yeah. He went down to play the shot and he spotted something and just, I think that just upset his concentration a little bit.
Williams comes to the table, 26 in front. Red, black, red would be enough.
One. 8.
Joe's just going through it so much there.
Nine.
He's just having a look at the scoreboard. I mean, sometimes when you're out there, your head's a bit of a jam jar at times, and with all that's gone on, but he's well past the winning post in this frame. 41 ahead.
15.
So another good performance.
17.
From Mark Williams.
Doherty did have a couple of chances to get back into
20.
the frame, but couldn't make the most of them.
$24. $29. $35.
So yet again, Mark Williams goes a frame in front, and this time there's only a possible 2 to play.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Frame 34. Ken Doherty to break.
So Ken Doherty
Quiet now, please.
has got to win the 2 remaining frames to snatch the title.
Go on, Ken.
I think there was a lot of the Crucible thought that was in, but he's got a good cue ball.
Just overcut.
Foul and miss. Mark Williams 4. Yeah.
Yes, he's just saying to Ken there's a chalk mark on the cushion where you cued it. When you're on the cushion like that, you usually just leave a little mark there where the tip runs along the cushion. Well, the reason he played that one was he didn't want to push one over the left corner if he went into the bunch. He's left this.
One.
That's not a bad kiss on the blue. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that cueing, but has he overdone it?
3.
It's still a little awkward here, because the natural path for the white would be to go towards the black. Will he get a favourable cannon?
Four.
Just look at the white. That was a terrific shot. Reverse side he had to play that with.
11.
I don't think the people in the Crucible realised just how good that shot was. He's looking good. This is terrific
12.
stuff from the Welshman.
Yes, it was a great shot to pop that last red and use the back of the bunch
19.
to get back for perfect position.
20.
This red will still go to the middle.
27. 28.
And he's managed to stop the cue ball short of the baulk line.
This is a terrific chance, and there was one shot. This one, he was dead
31.
straight. Watch the white as it hits the cushion, reverse side, perfectly played.
32.
It's been an absolutely incredible 17 days in the Crucible Theatre here. Is there another twist to this year's Embassy World Championship? There might be.
39.
He's not in perfect position here. Well, he was thinking of taking that red on up past the red that's near the green. He's thought better of it. He wants to have a go at everything.
Mark
I think
Williams,
that was the more
39.
sensible shot.
43 in front in the frame he needs to clinch the title for the second time.
Well, Ken Doherty has produced all sorts of comebacks over the last 17 days. This would be the biggest one of the lot.
But that invites a return to a similar position.
You never know with Mark Williams. Some of the shots that he pulls out. Now, what is he going to try with this red? The one to the left.
Thinking about a double and what he might leave if it didn't go in.
One.
Another tough black awaits. As smooth as you like.
8. 9.
Well, I've never enjoyed a final like it. It's a shame someone has to lose this one. I know we keep saying that, but
15.
Jo, well, she'll be absolutely delighted.
16.
Ken fears the worst. Mark has got the title at his mercy.
Yes, there's certainly going to be a welcome in the hillside, Clive. And
23.
well deserved.
24.
It's been such a sporting final, one of the finest Embassy World Championships we've had for quite some time.
The pink sufficient
30.
to leave Doherty needing 2 snookers.
31.
The plant makes sure perhaps he's going to finish with a century.
And Ken Doherty's not really a loser this year. He's made so many comebacks. His semi-final with Paul Hunter was out of this
37.
world. He's made a lot of new friends around the world. It's been a terrific performance from the Dubliner, but it's just been that bit
38.
better from the Welshman.
It's Williams' title.
45.
In many respects, it's been Doherty's championship.
46.
Doherty's provided so much drama.
53.
And until the final, Williams didn't, because he was winning so easily. But he certainly had enough drama for his taste today.
54.
Jubilation.
60.
Terry Griffiths, the winning coach. Mick McLean. Ken Doherty's
61.
best pal and motivator. Sporting in defeat is Mick McLean. Terry Griffiths.
68.
Has accepted victory quietly and modestly as he did when he was a player.
70.
And Mark Williams, the most relaxed man in the Crucible Theatre, or so it seems, but inside,
Okay. 73.
he will be absolutely delighted.
77.
When Williams led 10-2, it seemed as if he might even win with a session to spare.
Ken Doherty 5.
The blue finishes on the floor, but that doesn't matter. Mark Williams clinches the title with a break of 77. Mark Williams beats Ken Doherty by 18 frames to 16 to win the £270,000 first prize and win the Embassy World Championship for the second time.
So that's it, the story of snooker. The backroom game played for pennies that grew into a phenomenon that could make you millions. Snooker continues to have a great future ahead of it, and the players you've just seen have all played their part in making it Britain's #1 indoor sport. So here's to them. After all, you didn't think we'd finish without a musical montage, did you?
Beginning to annoy me.